were asking if there was Nintendo Direct leaks, and the fun thing about you asking that is you're asking before the Direct airs, and it definitely will have aired by the time that this comes out. So it's a fun time capsule where I try and tell you what I reckon's coming up in that Direct. I'm putting money on big ambitious
Link Big Naturals, got it.
Big ambitious Ocarina of Time remake. It's happening.
Yeah, Link Big Naturals, got it.
Link Big Naturals, it's coming 2026.
You know, at least they'd be doing something new, you know? Star Fox, they're just like, let's do 64 over and over again, but no one's been like, what if Zelda had giant well, not Zelda, but Link had giant cans?
Yeah, that's really, as far as I can tell when I look at my various online feeds, that's really what they want from the Legend of Zelda series, Big Naturals, and only that.
I don't know, if you look at the God of War series, it seems that people don't want tits in their video games. They get very upset when you add tits to a video game.
Yeah, why was Domino's UK so mad?
I got upset when they added emotions other than childlike fury. So I'm not the target audience for God of War anymore.
Side note for God of War, one of my favorite things about the God of War series is every time a new God of War game gets announced, you can watch David Yaffe, the original God of War creator from like the old games. He will every time, without fail, upload a video of himself being very angry and talking about how the next game sucks and won't make any money. Said it for God of War 2018, he did it for Ragnarok. He's like, it's definitely not that I'm not working on these anymore and therefore they must be shit because I'm not there. No, definitely it's a bad game for real and not because I'm have a reason to feel that.
Boy, there's going to be egg on your face when he's right in 30 years.
Laura, I think you would be frustrated too if you've been stuck in the same part of Metroid Dread for the last 6 years. Did you see that where he got stuck and he didn't know how to... Okay.
It's such shit game design. It's impossible. How can anyone work this out?
Well, we're here for Metroid Dan. Did it work? Did the joke work? Whatever.
Not really.
Fuck all of you.
Just keep going.
There's like a podcast we're doing. It's called Dice Funk. I have a Patreon now because I need money. Please give me money at patreon.com/Dan Leonard. That was just available, so that's me now. You can throw $6 at me, and I don't know, I'll teach you how to paint a goblin. I need to support myself. My wife casually said to me today, "Hey Dan, would getting divorced be in like the top 5 bad things that can happen to you?" So I feel like she's sending me messages. I need to get on some things. Anyway, we're into the downtime episode. You got other people, introduce yourselves.
Dan, every season, Joa has a different, like good luck, break a leg, have fun, a different statement at the beginning of the episode. Last season it was like, have fun with the dragons, or go collect an egg. This season she's been saying, get Dan pregnant, make sure you impregnate Dan.
Well, that's worrying because that's not a character. That's me.
I heard Dan's womb is still empty, things of this nature. So if you are getting divorced, maybe reassess the ranking order of bad things that can happen to you, because I think there are things beyond your imagination that you haven't considered yet. I'm Austin Yorsky, patreon.com/Austin Yorsky. Give me $7 and I'll knock Dan's little ass up.
This is actually very close to other things my wife listed, so I'm not...
Hey, I'm Laura. I'm at Laura K. Buzz. You could give me $8 a month, and I'll tell you about accessible video games, or, I don't know, call those two losers or whatever.
You coward. I thought you were going to escalate the threat of violence against Dan.
I'll escalate the threat of violence against you. Give me $8. Give me $9 a month, and I'll go beat up Austin. I'll fly. $8 would not cover the flights, but I'll fly to Austin and beat him up.
If enough people give $8.
For Quinn, for $9, what will you do to continue the Ouroboros of violence?
I will go to New Jersey with a burlap sack, and I'll just shove Dan in it, and then I'll just drive in a random direction, then push him out of the car.
For $11 a month, I'll go save Dan.
For a saltine cracker, I'll kill all of them.
Patreon.com/weekly manga recap, of course, for Quinn to betray me and join Dan. We can, you all can team up against me. For enough money, we will all backstab each other.
Yeah, just like any good business. or group project. All right. There's like a last time on Dice Funk that also can fill in here, so we're gonna jump into the Downtime episode. Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk to someone?
I will go first, Dan. I want to talk to my mom. How's mommy doing?
It doesn't ever the question that everyone's asking all the time.
Mommy.
Where's mommy? How's mommy? Etc.
Dice Funk listeners asks, where is my mommy? I miss my mommy. Please help.
and for $10, we'll find her.
For $11, I'll hide her.
For $12, I'll knock her up.
That's all. I'm doing that one for free.
Oh damn! I can't beat free.
Okay. That said, where are you imagining this conversation taking place? Is this back in the lab? Are you two like actively performing surgery on somebody that's under while you're having a conversation?
I think it is very funny because part of this will be basically, I believe, relaying part of what happened on the mission, and the idea that Stiorra would return home and not tell her mom what happened until they're in the middle of an extremely delicate surgery is very amusing to me. I don't know who we're operating on. I want to assume someone. Is there like kind of just a sad sack to Dynias, just like a Hans Moleman that exists here that we could be doing surgery on while having a full conversation with each other?
Yeah, it's Hans Moleman.
All right.
I don't think we can legally do that. Well, let me ask you this. Is this medical tourism, or is this like is someone getting leg lengthening surgery? Or is this someone needing like medical work done?
I imagine this was leg lengthening surgery or of some sort, but there is a very large asterisk, which is like, the terms and conditions that go along with this. That's like, in addition to the legs, you may also be given a trunk or had a couple livers removed or something else. There might be like a fun bonus surprise in this surgery that you weren't expecting.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is a dual surgery. This is on the slab, so to speak. There is a halfling and a Goliath, and we're swapping the legs back and forth between the two of them. The Goliath is tired of being always, asked, how's the weather up there, and the halfling wishes to be able to reach the top shelf. So we're making dreams come true.
Wow, really important work here at Mama Delightful's laboratory.
Yeah, exactly. Your mother has a different body today. She's in her work mode. So it's like an elven woman with 6 arms, each of which carrying various medical tools. Scalpels laced into her fingers. From like the waist down though is just a big spider, and she's using that to sew up all the stitches. She's not in her hot ass gorilla body, her going out on the town Sunday best. This is work time.
Yeah, the big naturals are away. We store them. This is work and focus time.
Well, there's let me clear this up for the fan artists. There's always big naturals. Those are always there. This is incredibly key.
Yeah, I imagine I'm gonna be like, all right, I've removed the legs. Stat. And I just hand my mother a pair of legs. Maybe the halflings, who knows? I have, 2 other pairs of legs in my inventory. Maybe for L's and giggles, I decide to hand her Granny Goodness's legs. I don't know.
Oh, I think those were skeletonized due to being in the soup. So
they can still work. They can still work.
Is Granny Goodness not a DC Comics character and not Granny Gumdrops, the character whose legs you have?
Granny Goody Gumdrop. Sorry, there's a lot of G's in that. And yes, unfortunately, there is a DC character who my brain has been predisposed to sometimes reference.
And I think that character is a god. I don't really understand the DC cosmology.
Yeah, I think she's like Darkseid's like lieutenant or something like that. It's like Darkseid and Granny Goodness, and together they are like the 2-person power trip.
Yeah, it's did she have that name before she started fucking around on Earth, or was that like, this kid was born and they went, all right, this is a Granny Goodness going to the preschool. Anyway, yeah, your mother takes the legs from you and starts sewing up the halfling. Going on. So Stiorra, how did that mission go? I'm not seeing any child limbs falling out of your back, so I assume they survived, or not. You could have gooed them. That's always possible.
Well, they made it home. I guess I can't exactly say safe and sound, but they did make it home. So I believe that counts as a successful mission on all ends.
Do you mean like in a body bag or?
No, they were alive, but probably not in the way that New Leon would like them to be.
Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. It sounds like you gave it your best shot, and that's all I ever want to have from you.
I think it was even more of a resounding success than that. I mean, they're a giant candy golem conjoined monster now.
All right, you buried the lead a little bit on that there, dear.
Well, sometimes you gotta make everybody, savor the antissa. And then she just kind of trails off and starts doing something else.
Just leaves the room, the scene ends.
But she's gonna come back 15 minutes later and say, patient. Yeah, they turned into sort of a candy golem, I think, after eating too much cursed candy. Honestly, I feel like they're a tremendous medical success, and Marvel, I fear New Leon will probably just banish them, if not outright kill them.
Well, first, that's why I always tell you to brush your teeth, dear, or at the very least, swap out your jaw.
Yes, mommy, I always do that.
Is that a deception roll?
I don't think so. I do think Stiorra does generally. Here's what I'll say. If there was a point in time where she believed the moon would really enjoy it if her teeth were super fucked up, then she would do that. But I don't think that's like a regular occurrence. So yeah, I think she does actually like generally listen to her mom and swap out her jaw if she ever needs to.
She's not brushing her teeth. She's just getting new teeth from other people.
Yes, well, there are a lot of things that she does. Like anytime like she breaks a nail, she just cuts off that finger and sews a new one on with a better nail. I mean, that's just sense.
So should we be assuming that if any like character dies, just while a conversation is happening, Stiorra's getting a pair of pliers and starts pulling out teeth? Okay, got it. Yeah, in response to, being told, oh, they got mutated into a big candy golem, she goes, ooh, that's, well, I mean, if they got good parents, I'm sure they'll just be happy that they're, not, dead. So, I know I'd be pretty okay if you got, I don't know, turned into a big sun monster over in New Leon, as long as you came back safe.
Aww. Well, thank you, Mommy. That means a lot. I don't know if people on that side of things are quite as open-minded. They seem to be, I don't know, prejudiced. They're monsters over there in their own ways, and I feel like they're probably not going to be kind to those kids. But that might also be a nice opportunity for us if Heinrich and Gwendolyn return to Dynias. Perhaps there's a way for us to take advantage of that.
Stiorra, you shouldn't be thinking of taking advantage of little children like that. They need a loving home that they can grow up in.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm also thinking that if they don't need, like, those peppermint forearms, then perhaps I can get them and see about, stitching them onto myself. I'm sure they'll appreciate having a little bit of themselves that's still flesh. Remind them of the good old days. Your
mother will say, well, you could always take a little quick trip across the pond and see if you can keep an eye on them if you're so worried.
Do we have a big umbrella?
When it's the sun, it's a parasol.
Oh, sorry. Parasol.
That was one of the bodies, one of the bisected bodies of the table. The umbrellas are for rain.
Yeah, starts talking. The mother goes, oh, I could have sworn I dosed you up. I'm sorry. You must be in incredible pain right now.
Oh, my agonies are exquisite and never ending.
You've been pretty polite about it, though, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did want to interrupt. Your relationship is just so beautiful.
Aw, and then I'm going to hit him in the head with a giant hammer.
The sleepy stick. What's crazy is that's a regular halfling. Your mother will say, well, I'm sure we can always make one. And she starts, with two of her spider legs, knitting threads of web in between two bones to try to make you a quick parasol. As she's casually, sawing the legs off the Goliath to begin to finish the transfer on them.
Can I pitch something? I put it in the Discord for everyone to enjoy.
It's a big mushroom. It's
a giant mushroom. It's called a parasol mushroom, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
How the fuck has Princess Peach not used this?
I feel like that would be quite ghastly and macabre because those are her people, right? She was using the body of one of her people to...
Mario be eating them, so I don't really look. It's a deeply uncomfortable society they live in. If you really think about it,
does Mario eat them? I've only played the older games where he touches a mushroom and gets stronger. I assume he just kind of squeezes them and channels their power into them.
He briefly fondles a toad and gets bigger.
I assumed from back in the day he touches them and the reason they vanish is he's eating them, I assume.
Well, I think we all can agree that the most canonical portrayal of Mario is the Chris Pratt Mario, where he famously hates mushrooms, I believe they established. He does not enjoy them.
Yeah, can't stand them.
So, we'll have to accept that.
Yeah, there's Chris Rat is actually one of Mr. Cheese or Dr. Cheezer's friends.
He's a really deeply weird Christian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no relation. And your mother continues to sew up this body, and goes, either way, I'm just glad that they made it out. There's a lot of ways that could have gone so much worse.
Yes, we wanted to avoid an international incident. That seems like it'd be bad, especially when they have like laser sunflowers over there. That was new to me.
Yeah, your mother nods when you start talking about it. This could have gone quite bad. She says, "Oh yeah, believe you me, dear. It can get quite unpleasant."
Oh, do I need to roll like a check? Is my mom hiding anything from me, or is she deliberately trying to keep me in the dark, or is she just like saying it in the general sense? I guess.
So you remember from last week that your mother seems to have had a much more violent youth from that flash of insight you got from one of the body parts that makes up your body was actively killed by her in a much cooler battle body, I guess you could call it, parentheses, big naturals. She isn't really elaborating more on it, but if you want to ask her a question, feel free.
Is that something we should be concerned about, Mummy? Is this something the Reanimator Guild needs to be worried about?
She sort of taps the vat that has her her brain floating in it, and says, well, your mother is no spring chicken. I've been around the block once or twice, and well, let's say last time things got a little bit heated. It was a bad scene all around for really everyone involved. And we're trying to do our research and our medical work here. And she gestures down to the bodies on the slab. Halfling loving it so much, deeply eroticized by being sliced open. They're a weird little freak, etc. She says, we can do some good work here, potentially, and can't really do that if a giant flaming ball is marching towards, our labs and burning all of our stitching supplies to ashes.
Stiorra, I imagine, is a little contemplative when she hears this because, the moon does not seem to really follow any precise logic or anything like that. But it did seem to really enjoy turning those kids into a candy golem monster. And I think there's a part of her that wonders if that's, the thing that it enjoyed was taking somebody from Dynias or from New Leon rather, and turning them into this very sort of twisted abomination. And there's a part of her that's thinking like, well, if they do march into our territory, that is a chance to make the moon really gassed up and happy. Like we just need to bomb them with some kind of transformation gas or something like that. And then who knows how happy the moon will be. But she can't say those thoughts out loud, I think.
Yeah, do you want to like maybe roll something to see like what if you could try to figure out the energy of this or anything else?
Yeah. I recently just added a point into my intelligence that gives me a little bonus there since I learned I'm the only one with intelligence skills in this party right now. So I was like, let's help out there. So maybe investigation.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. There are 2 separate parties this season. I don't think there's a single smart character among them. Well, I guess it would just be you. I think everyone's a little bit stupid.
Don't blame us. Jeremy Crawford's the one who made a game with only 1 intelligence class. All right?
Sometimes it's nice to be a dumbass.
Honestly, I envy it. 17 for investigation.
Yeah, so I would for the moon stuff, I would say this is religion, but I think that would be probably the same for you. Right?
I was gonna say same roll. So actually, Dan, that roll was for religion. I lied the entire time. I tricked you.
Yeah, since we've established, moon rolls are religion based, that's what I'll give you here. I'd say it's hard to pin down exactly, what the moon is interested in or what like feelings you get from it. But I think it in particular there's a sense of entertainment it's looking for. So a big crazy thing like starting a war, yeah, that could be pretty entertaining. But also really going in deep and fucking up one specific person real bad, also very entertaining.
I don't want to. I'm not making this like a character choice. Like Stiorra is actually now in support of the war. I just think there's always a part of her that's considering like, well, what makes the moon happy? Because in my mind, there's like a hierarchy of needs for Stiorra. It's the moon, her mom, and then Desiree and the Baron kind of underneath that. So like in her mind,
and then Dr. Cheezers.
Yeah, Dr. Cheezers. Yeah, he knows what he did. And it's just the idea that she's always like, even in this moment where her mom's expressing a lot of concern and she's trying to get across the political ramifications. There's still a part of Stiorra that's like, yeah, but would the moon dig like if just a big bunch of freaky monsters now showed up because we just transformed them all, or maybe we just switch all their rations out with that candy and they all become candy monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think probably the last thing was your mother saying that this seems like a bad idea, or not a bad idea. Things can get quite bad. Is there anything else you'd like to say to her?
Yeah, I think Stiorra is, contemplating for a moment, and then she's eventually going to turn back to her mother and be like, oh, I ended up having kind of visions of death recently.
Oh, you haven't had those since you were a little girl.
Yeah. These ones were a little bit different, though. It seemed like I was seeing things that the pieces of me saw before their demise. And one of them seemed to be looking at you.
I think there's like a moment where she like loses step with what she's doing. Like maybe she drives the needle into the wrong part of the hobbit as you catch her off guard a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, is that so? What whatever did you see?"
Not a ton, just the, you standing over the body as it went down. I'm getting the impression that it might be from the part of my body that's currently in active rebellion.
Oh, well, how do I put this, dear? I wasn't always in the, the healing business, as she gestures down to the 2 patients. I had I guess you could say a stint in the defense industry.
Reverse healing.
Yeah.
Building missiles?
Oh, of sorts.
I mean, I don't care. I just was always under the impression that Desiree was the one who brought all the body parts that put me together. Did you have like a stash before that?
Oh, most of them. I suppose I wanted to put a piece in myself to, I guess, remind me of how things used to be.
Would you be able to say anything more about the person who you killed? Since they're the body part that's giving me a problem right now, it might help to have an understanding of what kind of person they were like before.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, I can do that. Persuasion, 15.
15's pretty good. Yeah, I think your mother like sets down the tools for the moment as she tries to collect herself and says, to be honest, I don't really know much about them. How do I put this? It was just for fun.
Oh, like you killed them for fun, or the person you knew was a relationship that was just kind of for fun?
Oh, I killed him for fun.
Oh, did you know them?
Can't quite say that I did.
Well, I guess that's not a big deal. Did you ever find out who they were or anything like that?
Yeah, I think she looks around a little comfortably. Stiorra, this was a very, very different point in my life. I'm not particularly proud of it. I try to help more than I hurt these days, and I was doing a lot of hurting back then.
You're so cool, Mummy.
Ooh, I'm not so sure I'd agree with you with what we're talking about. She sits down in a big, I guess, spider-sized swivel chair, a giant spider-sized swivel chair. I guess the legs just kind of dangling over the edges of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna, before I go over to join her, I'm gonna take the big mallet and hit both of the patients in the head again real quick, because we're gonna read up on their anesthesia. I don't know how long this conversation's gonna go.
We really should just be using the injectables, but it's so much more fun.
Yeah, plus, I mean, why did we buy a mallet if not to use it, right?
Yeah, because you could just say non-lethal, it's fine.
Quinn, I think there's still time for your level up item to be the mallet of unconsciousness.
Yeah, oh man, I wish I had thought of this beforehand.
The hammer of sleeposity.
Absolutely. And if you at any point you want to talk about your level up item, or we can just do so at the end, that can be done. She'll say, when I like I said, it was a different point in my life, and I was well, there was a lot to be done and made, and a name. You can make a name for yourself if you know, I guess, the right buttons to press and people to eviscerate. And, I definitely made a name for myself.
Did you make any enemies or anything of that nature? Is there any, bad blood still about it?
Oh, for certain I did. Although I will say, most of my enemies, did not survive the encounters, but you know what they say in Dynias, nothing's dead forever.
Yeah, I mean, they would come back eventually to some degree, right?
Oh, yes, and, well, I'll tell you, some of them are still out there, probably waiting to, collect due the medical bill, so to speak.
Well, if you find any of them, let me know, and I'll make sure they don't trouble you. Or Dr. Cheezers.
Well, no, I mean, of course, Dr. Cheezers. But to be honest with you, Stiorra, I probably deserve it. I was not, like I said, it was a very different time for me. I turned a couple people inside out. It's not good, not great.
Stiorra is going to place one of her, decaying, stitched up hands gently on her mother's shoulder and be like, "You gave me life, Mother. I don't think you need to be ashamed about who you are."
Ooh, it's not about who I am, dearie. It's who I was.
I wasn't around then, so I don't care about that part as much.
Give me a insight check.
Yeah. Where is... 13.
You can tell there's something else that she is not saying, but she is, you can't really nail down what. There was something in what you were saying in the last, few sentences to her, that, had her tense up, and you're not entirely certain what it was.
Gotcha. So, Stiorra is going to, respect her mother and not, push on this or anything. She is going to kind of continue the train of thought backwards and just be like, so if the person whose body part is in me is maybe been revived under Dynias again, maybe that explains why my body's rebelling. Like the rest of them has a problem.
Yeah, that definitely could be it. If, generally, I mean, you wouldn't be happy if somebody melted most of your body and then stole your legs, right? You'd be pretty upset.
Scientifically speaking, I'd be deeply honored, actually. I'm a work of art. Your incredible handiwork deserves to be preserved and utilized.
All right, what if it was like a big sun that did it?
That fucking bitch, I'll kill them.
Yeah, that's it, dearie.
Well, I guess I'll try to keep an eye out on if I can maybe find out where the rest of this person is. Is there, like, any way if I, like, cut this chunk of me out that I could use it to track down where the rest of the body is?
Well, I think a lot of it's goo at this point. But if you so wanted to, yeah, you probably could.
Okay. Do you want the rest of the goo when I'm done?
I think you could keep that, dearie. Why don't we she seems to be very quickly as you're trying to talk about, tracking down the rest of this person, like reorienting back to the medical task at hand.
Yeah. Stiorra, by the way, if given any kind of leeway in this, is sewing on, the halfling's legs on backwards to the Goliath. She just thinks that's more interesting.
Your mother will sort of tut for a moment and go, Stiorra, this isn't one. We got to do this one right, but I'll let you sneak something inside of them that they won't notice if you're good.
Let's look at my inventory. What can I put in there?
What a spooky thing to think of, and not something that literally happens from time to time with real surgeons. What a crazy fictional thing that we just made up, and not something I read about somewhat regularly.
Yeah. I want to put, I'm gonna put some of Granny Goodness's, or not Granny Goodness, shit. I'm gonna put some of, Granny Goody Gumdrops' legs, inside this other person's legs.
Okay, so you're giving them double leg heightening surgery.
Yeah,
double legs.
So one set of legs goes backwards. My mom chastises me, so then I sew a second pair of legs on the correct way, or the correct orientation, underneath those. So they're really, like, this halfling's huge now.
Yeah, I guess what this would be like is, I know with like real leg lengthening surgery, what they do is, for, hey audience, this might make you uncomfortable, skip ahead 30 seconds or so. They like break your legs and then put stretchers on them, and you have to crank them 3 millimeters a day, and it like continuously extends the length of your legs over the course of like years. I guess what you've done is you have sawn into like both sets of legs into like the the femurs and the tibia or whatever, and you've just laced them together with like metal plates to make one set of super legs.
Yes, and now Dan, I would like to request a medicine check so that I can see how effective and appreciated my medical procedure was, because this person's gonna wake up expecting to be like, a 1.5 feet taller, and they're gonna wake up and be like fucking 4 feet bigger. 27 crit.
Okay, yeah.
My name's going on the practice.
This is perfect. This is like your magnum leg opus. They're the tallest halfling to ever live at 5'7". Actually, you know what? No, this is your moment. Describe what happens here, and let me think if I can give you something good here.
Yeah, so I have not ever really like fully described what it's like when Stiorra casts magic. And in my mind, how there's like, wizards will do like their fancy hand motions and then they'll cast spells, the Doctor Strange kind of like, I got to be doing something with my fingies. Stiorra's, index and middle finger are always locked together, and there's like a surge of magic energy between her fingers as though she's holding a scalpel. And much of her spellcasting is essentially like performing surgery in a various different manners. Like when she cast Death Ward, she kind of basically like literally stitched it into the children. So in this case, she is using these kind of precise surgery skills she has, and she is placing, one set of legs and then the second set underneath that. And despite the fact that the legs go in different orientations, they are marvelously well constructed. It is practical and a work of art at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. When this halfling wakes up, they're going to be so happy with this. Do you do anything to the Goliath who's getting the shorter legs?
No, but the
okay.
But when the halfling wakes up, Stiorra is going to say, "I now dub you simply Ling," because the half is gone. They're now as tall as a regular person.
Yeah, I want to give you something here when you hand in a halfling for getting a crit. Is there anything in particular you'd want, or you can roll on the 1d100 table?
I mean, I love a 1d100 roll.
Okay.
87, Dan. That's a big number. And it's odd, so that means something good happens.
Okay. So this is this is actually very funny with what we were talking about before. You narrowly missed one that could have been quite bad, but this is very good for you, Gwen.
I like one that's like your mom explodes.
Okay. While you are diving into this body and you're slicing and stitching, and as you are exercising these abilities of yours, and you're thinking about all of the muscular connections you have to make, all the nerves you have to tie in together, it becomes like clearer and clearer for you as you are optimizing this body, and in turn you yourself become optimized as you gain insane intelligence. You get +4 to int.
Wait, like the score or like the modifier?
The score.
Okay, so I now have max intelligence. This is great. This is a big win for everybody.
How did you even consider giving me twice the legs would be so good?
Is there a giant brain portion of this? Like, is the next time we see Stiorra, is her head like the leader from Marvel?
I will let Stiorra decide that. Or do you have you maybe glued a second brain to yourself?
Yeah, I like the idea that it's not like her one brain is really big. She's just taken another brain and kind of sewn it to her, almost like it hangs down from the back of her head like a ponytail and just kind of swings about.
I mean, that makes sense. The legs were good. You gave me more legs, even better. Why not give yourself more brain? Oh, genius work of art.
You to fit more leg in the halfling, you took some of their brain.
I don't need that. I got leg now.
Absolutely. Henceforward, you shall be known as Ling the Tall. Well, I guess average size compared to most races, but amongst halflings, you're enormous.
This is what the materialist is about.
I shall look down on my foes.
They're gonna go so far in halfling basketball.
Oh, I take one step is like 4 steps. Yeah.
All right, Quinn. What did you select for your level up?
Yeah, so I took a feat from my level up. I decided I would jump into the Crooked Moon stuff again because that's all new to me. So I ended up taking a feat called Memory Starved, which will give me advantage on investigation checks going forward, but also give me saving throws to resist being charmed or having my mind read or altered. I don't know how common any of those are in Dynias, but it seems like a good thing to have in my back pocket just in case somebody decides to start playing with my memory, because, I mean, I'm already sewing new brains onto myself. I guess my brain is somewhat susceptible to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to give you a little something else here. If you have anything else to say to your mom, let me know. If not, we're going to end the scene and move on to the next one.
Love you, Mom. Mummy.
Oh, I love you too, dear. Let me finish up here, and you can go along and play with your friends. And by that I mean your coworkers. I shouldn't infantilize you. Well, I don't really know how old you are. It's a complicated subject when you're made up of 20 different dead people.
I'm perfect, and also I'm insanely smart now. the moon saw to it.
Yeah, I think you know what, let me describe this lab a little bit just for the sake of it. I think your mom has like an open top laboratory, or at the very least like it can like roll away, which is how you were able to see the moon as the first thing when you came to life. And probably this is also because of the classic way of bringing a flesh golem to life is to get struck by lightning, and to do that you gotta have a way to get the lightning to you. This is I think there is like a cross here between like those old like grandma houses with like doilies on everything, but there's also floating tanks of various organs and projects and things of that nature. So it's a very eclectic mix. As you are heading out, I will give you one more thing. You see, Dr. Cheezers scurrying along about his business. He's got his own things to do. And a piece of just the tiniest scrap of paper falls out of his tiny rat lab coat as he scurries away, unnoticing it.
Hey, bro, you dropped this. Stiorra is going to quote unquote shout as she bends down to pick up this note and sort of starts to read it.
It is a list of body parts, organs, with a single note at the end, and I will put it in chat just for reference, because I was about to say the full name, but I need to keep myself from doing that. With 3 letters, SMG.
Submachine gun.
Super Mario Galaxy.
I like Super Mario Galaxy.
Sodium monoglutamate.
Oh, dang, these are all good. All right, I'm
Super
taking notes of
Monkey
this. I'm pocketing this for the future.
Okay. All right. With that said, we can move on to the next person. I think we're going to do Laura next.
Oh, hell yeah. Hello.
Laura, how are you today? What's your level up looking like? Do you want to fold it into the discussion itself, or you want to just tell us here?
I can tell you about it here. I picked up a feat, and I picked up the actor feat, which does some little bits of tweaks to my stats. I get a little bit of additional charisma, which is good because I have negative charisma as a character that is meant to be deceiving and fooling people. This brings me up to 0, but it does also give me advantage. I took the feat of actor. I now get advantage on charisma, deception, and performance checks when trying to pass myself off as a different person. So if I am in my disguised form, if I am being an Norab, I get advantage on misleading people, which is going to be helpful. I can also mimic the speech of other people or sounds of other creatures if I've heard them for at least a minute. So I can. I got some tools in my back pocket for trying to convince people into things.
Is that being done by like you're a pumpkin person? You have you got like a bunch of vines. Are you just like manipulating the vines of your vocal cords?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is just this is a physical manipulation going on.
Now, I don't know if you saw the message I sent the other day, but I've also given you a complication. The last episode, we had you roll to get advantage on spell saving throws. But in doing so, Norab has sort of metastasized as something speaking to you. I will give you a choice at the start of every arc. You can choose to have this ability, but Norab is going to be more present than not, and that could have consequences over time.
And again, is this physically present for other people or just hanging out in my head present?
For now, it's in your head.
And it's advantage on saving throws.
Against spell saving throws. So if somebody casts a spell on you,
okay.
you get double the chances to succeed.
Okay, for now, the Baron's not gonna let him manifest for this arc.
Okay. All right, you've locked him in your mind palace. Where are you today?
I think that this scene goes on at the tail end of the Baron trying to talk their way into ownership of a plot of land they really shouldn't be owning. So this scene, catches the tail end of the Baron with someone probably pretty elderly, and the Baron's sort of showing up being like, "Oh yes, well, you see, you might think that this land is yours, was sort of passed down paternally through a couple of generations, but unfortunately your grandfather did sign it over to me. I know that you never met them and therefore wouldn't recognize their handwriting, but trust me, this is their signature. They did legally sign the land over to me. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry about that."
You're trying to steal Miss Gristleteeth's delicatessen. She's an elderly bugbear woman. She's got like an old coat on, big pair of glasses. She looks like, I guess the closest description I could think of is like, in Little Red Riding Hood when they draw like the wolf in the grandma's clothes, kind of like that, but it's a bugbear.
Yeah.
She's going, oh, dearie me. Well, it just can't possibly be right.
It's all here in beige and white. Black and beige.
Well, just give me one moment. My accountant is coming to take a quick look at that.
Unfortunately, there's no time. If you don't vacate the property right now, you would be breaking the law by being on my property after being notified. So really, you should be vacating right now before the accountant arrives. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get you in legal trouble for still being here. You see.
So as you are saying that they must leave immediately, you hear a voice call out from behind you, going, "Dear Baron, don't you understand? There is always time." And there is a person approaching. I'm gonna drop a picture in chat for reference. You turn to see a vaguely humanoid creature. With a porcelain comedy mask covering their face, their entire body, wherever there is like a solid plane, like your forearm or your hand, like the palm of your hand, that is a piece of porcelain covering, and then only in the joints is there any hint of like organic material that's wet and that looks a bit like wet and corded. This is Kushim, the person we've talked about during your the one-on-one episode. This is your rival. This is a vampire of some sort. And he is apparently this old bugbear woman's accountant.
Okay, I'll edit this out. Are you aware that there's already a Dice Funk character with this name?
No.
Okay. I was just letting you know that is true, and that's going to be a thing, and people are going to ask you about it.
Okay, well, hold on, because I looked up world's oldest accountant. Now I need to look up second oldest accountant.
Okay, Kushim is actually the earliest recorded name of a human being, which is why I gave this to the ancient Aboleth with the voice of Joe Biden in an earlier season, because he's old is the joke.
Okay, hold on. Father of...
Yeah, this is actually helpful because now I don't have to ask how to spell Kushim.
But yeah, what was that, season 9? Yeah, there was an Aboleth that menaced Dragon Quest, and they had the voice of Joe Biden, and that was his name.
Yeah, okay, so this person's name is now Luca then, for Luca Piccoli, father of Italian accounting.
Whoa, is Italian accounting different than regular accounting? Do they do it with their fingers up?
Yeah, they instead of numbers, they use meatballs.
Jesus.
You're allowed to say that. I'm not.
I can say it. I'm Italian.
Ukrainian accounting, of course, is done with cabbage. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, of course. This creature, they are very strange to look at because, as I said, they're porcelain covers so much of their body. They do not let anything besides their joints be exposed, which just seems to be necessary for movement. They have been here for as long as you have, and reputably a lot longer. And they approach and they say, "Miss Gristleteeth, might I see that?"
No need. She was just leaving.
Oh, I highly doubt that, for I have been here for quite some time, and I think she will be as well. Well, maybe not much longer. She does appear to drop at any second, but the accounts must be settled.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do by, by enforcing the paperwork as it stands, just making sure that it's all present and accounted for, you see.
He snatches it out of your hands and begins to pour over it. Although it's hard to, he has this, because of this mask, his very impassive look. But he just sort of hums to himself over and over again, going, yes. Baron, are you aware that the woman here has only been within Dynias' borders for 2 generations, and you are claiming that her family signed this over 3 generations ago?
Well, you see, the plot was owned prior to the arrival. You can own a plot of land in a place before you arrive in the place. You see,
But how could you sign it over if they weren't here to do so?
Well, I've owned plots of land outside of where I physically locate, and sometimes I will travel there to sign it over, and then travel back to where I'm currently residing. There's nothing to have prevented them coming here, signing the land over, and then traveling back.
Funny. Do you have documentation to support their traveling? Because at the very least,
I don't need that documentation. I have the documentation when they signed it over. I'm not required to document every step of the journey. Do you have documentation for every journey you've ever taken?
There is a sort of chuckle behind the mask and goes, "Of course. Who do you think I am?"
It's a foolish question. I also do so, but
I do not take such loose. I do not have such loose ideas of paperwork as you, Baron.
Well, if you give me a moment, I'm sure I can find the paperwork from their having travelled here. The Baron is going to open a briefcase as if looking through to find the paperwork, and is quickly trying to forge some travel documents in the briefcase.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you want me to roll to forge some paperwork?
I think this would be a deception check, as you right in front of him attempt to fabricate this.
Okay. Yeah, 8.
Yeah, so you finish your forgery, and you pass it over to Luca, Italian man. I didn't need to specify that he's a vampire. He's not really Italian. Italians don't exist in Dice Funk, thank God. They're fictional. And he looks it over and says, "This is quite interesting. This paper was very clearly made by some of the Thrycreen inhabitants of the Dynias country. This paper was clearly made by some of the Thrycreen inhabitants of Dynias, yet the paper mill was only established 100 years ago. Now, how could that be possible?"
Well, I believe this is it's not the original document. Obviously, I don't keep the original of every travel document on my person, but I do have I've got a reproduction copy. You see.
Well, Baron, I'll be happy to take a look at the original once you have it. Why don't we go for a walk, and I'll see you off the land so you can head back home and get whatever papers you need.
I'll be back around. Well, actually, I might not be back around. Perhaps Norab will be back around later.
He stretches an arm around you, and I think what is noticeable is that he literally stretches an arm. The space between the porcelain joints extends out to just to reach around to your other shoulder, because you're such a wide big pumpkin man. And he says, Baron, I do enjoy our little jousts. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me young.
It's keeping me out of a paycheck today, apparently.
Baron, you're so hasty. You should prepare more.
Well, I think for one little old lady, I think I was plenty prepared.
Evidently not.
Well, look, I can't help that you're a bastard.
No, it's in my nature as an accountant and an auditor.
Take that, Nick.
Sidebar. I was a big fan of Nick and Quinn for many years from being a child, and then I played Left 4 Dead with them once, and Nick did not like me, and it deeply hurt my feelings because one of my heroes hated me.
Damn.
So now I have a second chance, Austin. I can fix this. Anyway,
First thing you do in the campaign is pounce on Nick.
Yeah. Shitting, crying, throwing up. Yes, Luca says to you, please do bring your best next time. While I do enjoy these little sparring matches, it's a bit pedestrian, don't you think?
Oh, goodness. Look, if I'd have known you were coming, I'd have prepared a little better. We could have had a good back and forth, had a proper spar of the thing.
Oh, should we arrange something then? Give you time to come up with with your very best valid documents?
I mean, look, I can't have every single piece of documentation on me every single day, but let me know that we're going to have a scrap, and I'll absolutely wipe the floor with you. You know, of course.
Well, Baron, there have been some issues back with the other bloodsuckers, as we like to refer to ourselves, accountants, not vampires. We could, I suppose, use your and your compatriots' assistance at some point to untangle the mess we have found ourselves in.
You're going to have to give me a very, very good offer if you want me to help you.
Well, for one thing, it is sort of your job.
Regrettably. How well does it pay?
He waves a hand and says, recently, a incident occurred on the border of our lands and the Harvest Kins, and there's now been a dispute over the corpses therein and the materials they provide. I personally don't care either way, but it's becoming disruptive to my work. I have paper to tabulate and things to catalog, stuff of this nature, accounting words, etc. Could you tell I'm bad at math and I go to an accountant every year? I don't really know accounting terms. Anyway, either way, someone will need to sort out the details, and I suppose whoever does will be able to get first cut of whatever's there before things get distributed.
Look, that sounds... I'm more than happy to deal with this. On the proviso that you agree up front, you're not just going to come in at the last minute after I've done so and go, oh, I'm doing all my accounting tricks, actually you walk away with nothing, blah, blah, blah. If we do this, I'm taking whatever my cut is, and that is that, and you're not doing any of your nonsense on this one.
Oh, Baron, you wound me that you think I would do anything untoward.
I know you and your ways. You all accountants are the same.
Just because according to my taxes, I've earned -16 spleens and applied for a 300,000 brain rebate does not mean I have done anything untoward.
Look, I may go for land grabs, but what you do is far more insidious with all your numbers and stupid forms and databases.
In any case, there are still some things that need to be set up upon my side. So should I don't know, send one of my thralls to your, well, I guess, what do you call them? Underlings, goons? Your gooners? Is that what the kids are calling them these days?
I would really rather you didn't.
Right, I will send the details to your gooners for your assistance, and you can take whatever it is you wish, or whatever you think you can get away with. Because of course, even if I'm not there, if you anger someone, it's not unlikely that they'll eventually come for you, Baron. Old Lady Gristleteeth, she might be old, but I've seen her swing a mace with the best of them.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get hold of her land yet.
Is there anything you wish to do with it? Some big goal, or is it just numbers in a column for you?
I mean, you understand the appeal of numbers in a column better than anyone. It is wonderful to have numbers in a column, is it not?
Of course.
But all, I will acknowledge there is a certain desire for it. It's one of those, if I get the one last piece, that I can sort of demolish a whole area into a new redevelopment. Sometimes you've just got the one little holdout parcel of land that really sort of causes you to have a whole saga of trying to get ownership of it.
So yeah, I guess what I'm looking for is Baron trying to like set up anything for the future. What is he looking for? Like, okay, so now we have potential plot line of him trying to get this lady's land, right?
Yeah, I do think that genuinely this lady is I think the Baron's maybe downplaying it a little bit, but is a holdout that's like, I don't know what the project is that the Baron wants to be working on, but whatever it is, physically cannot happen while that plot of land is there. This is very much one of those, this highway is going to have to take like a semicircle detour if this one house doesn't sell their land kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So here's what Luca will say to you. He will say, "How about this, Baron? If you so divvy up the goods in favor of mine and theirs, I can have a chat with old Miss Gristleteeth and convince her to sell at a mutually beneficial arrangement. Of course, the mutually beneficial being mostly on your side."
I think this can probably be arranged. Now, in the back of the Baron's head, he is thinking, not if I can convince her to sell it first, and then I don't have to do that for you, but, as a fallback, he's not opposed.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say or do here?
Not say, but I do think that the Baron is going to try and sleight of hand a kick me sign onto the back of this guy before departing.
Absolutely. Please do.
Maybe
so.
it's not kick me, maybe it's hex me.
Okay.
Do you guys know about nail houses?
No.
Are they made of nails?
No, it's what happens with this kind of thing where there's one person who wants to sell their property and they're trying to build something. And so I just put an image in the Discord of a person who didn't sell their house, so they just built the road around it, and now it's just sticking out of the road like one nail out of a board. That's why they're called nail houses.
That's pretty awesome.
Fuck, it's a 7 to put the hex me sign on his back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think his neck turns 180 degrees very slowly as you're actively trying to put it on, and says, "Baron, really? Well, I guess you are young compared to me."
The Baron says, "No, you misunderstand. Someone put this on you, and I was just taking it off. You see."
"Baron, the ink is still wet on your fingers."
"Yes, from having taken it off."
Very well. Let me at least provide you a few more details before we go. It seems that a creature from across the border of New Leon has managed to get itself killed within our lands, and now your harvest kin want the body, but it's in our blood swamps. So you will be needing to convince them to back off at some point, or get the materials back. Or to get the materials back, to get my assistance in helping you with old Lady Gristleteeth, although I imagine your friends are not going to be quite so happy about it.
We'll see. We'll work it out.
All right. I think we, fade off from there as you two. As you say, we'll work it out. Luca says to you, "Now, would you like to go to the new smoking lounge in the city? It's quite fancy. Of course, I have been grandfathered in."
No, thank you. I think I'll go smoke alone in my smoking room, just to spend as little time with you as possible. It has been less than delightful.
Oh, Baron, I do love our little chats. And he slinks away. I think he kind of walks a little bit like like Reed Richards when he does the stretchy legs, that sort of thing. Like the porcelain joints extend and contract with every step. All right, and that scene ends. Finally, we have Desiree. Desiree, what's going on with you? What's happening? What's his apps?
Dan, when you said to pick an NPC for the downtime, you said, "Oh, and I'm sure I know what Desiree is going to pick." And then I picked something you weren't expecting. So first, I want to establish who did you think I was going to pick?
I assumed you were probably going to talk to Koffel.
Okay, because you think I'm gonna immediately run back to my boss like a little bitch and start crying and
because that's what you set up, yes. As being a meathead who does what they're told.
Zagging on you, first of all. I'm gonna go see Jack, King of the Patch, or as you've forced me to say, Jack King of the Patch as quickly as possible. Yeah. So it sounds like Jack King of the Patch. Which is, I guess, the Baron's direct report, Laura's boss, the Pumpkin King. And I don't know if you want me to establish, too much about what his whole situation is. Do you want me to set a scene, or did you have one?
Well, if you had an idea, feel free to pitch it. If not, I can go off. I know pumpkins. I've been living in that world for years.
I mean, I had a little idea. It's nothing much. I was just thinking, the Pumpkin King.
Just kicking your feet, going, I had a little idea I could throw out there. Dan, if you'd let me.
I mean, pumpkins, the Harvestkin don't last long. They don't live very long. So I bet they live pretty high in the hog. They have a lot of parties. They're inviting important people over. So, on the at the patch, they're probably having a big party. And so the party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rockin'. All were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers are about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. Are you just going to let me do the whole monster mash? You're not going to stop me?
Austin, why would I ever let you not get hit by the truck that you've put yourself in front of?
I've not been able to think of anything else since the beginning when Quinn didn't start the lab scene with, I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight, and it's just one-shotted my brain completely.
Okay, first off, we need to establish that I guess Dracula is just a name here, as his, and Wolfman is not a wolfman. He sees some sort of conglomerate of wolves that have fused together.
Whoa. Yeah, Dracula is like Steve for vampires. It's just a very basic name. The Wolfman is a orb made of wolves. A Katamari Damacy of wolves. With big naturals, of course. I
was just saying every NPC is big naturals. That's always important.
Except for the ones who got them from Dr. Doris Delightful. Those would be big unnaturals, right?
Well, they were natural for someone.
Okay. I guess that's, so true, bestie. I think Desiree is going to go talk to her old boss, Jack King of the Patch, at the patch, presumably. Is there a bigger, building? I didn't picture him as being like a castle or keep kind of guy.
Yeah, I think you go to I guess the main farm area that he hangs out and holds court in, right? And all the the Harvestkin are going crazy. They're drinking heavily, which I think amounts to pouring it into their pumpkin mouths, and then vomiting pumpkin guts all over the ground. Jousting while riding on top of pigs. People are dying, absolutely. So there are people dying at this party, which is how it's a good one. They're playing pin the tail on the elephant. They have a real elephant there. They kidnapped it from New Leon, brought it overboard, and they're trying to attach a tail to it. Again, many of them being crushed alive. It's horrific, truly depressing. I think Jack King of the Patch is in like the center of all of this, sort of emceeing the party, as making sure everyone's got their drinks or what have you. Let me drop a picture in the chat. I was working on his model earlier today. Sadly, I did not have time to finish it because I was fishing in Final Fantasy, which is also just as important. If you really think about it.
You waited 2 years to DM this, and you're going to get completely sidetracked and ruin it playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. So he's this huge round creature. As far as you can tell, it's not been grown out of any particular body. Its lower half is got these huge vines that are supporting it off the ground that lets him walk around. He's got a crown of thorns around his head and a big scepter that he's waving around as he's joshing with his King's Guard, so to speak, which are these huge giant like pumpkin folk carrying heavy weapons, and doing the hey, are you cool enough to be around our guy, acting as bouncers just in case if the wolf orb gets too close and too rowdy.
Yeah, as I approach the Pumpkin King, I will say as my level up, my eighth level isn't that interesting. I just improved my good stats. I could have tried to fix my intelligence, but I feel like that ship has already sailed.
You want to get dumber.
The boat's taking on too much water. I can't fix it. But
Desiree is young, dumb, and full of grub.
She really is. But instead of a feat, for my downtime, I took an item. I'm the only one who did, and I was trying to think, what in the last arc could justify an item and what item I wanted. I'm not trying to sneak like a +8 bow of vaporizing past you or anything. I was like, what are the basic items from the original 70s book? What about the boots of elven kind? That's something that gives you just advantage on dexterity or stealth checks, is to make your footsteps quiet. But the justification could be we were walking through all of that candy magic that the kids were splattering everywhere, turning the trees and the ground into all various candies, and my shoes just got infused with like marshmallow and taffy, and they're just so supernaturally soft now.
Absolutely. Or the other option was, instead of boots of elven kind, you could have just stolen some elves' feet and had them sewn onto yourself. That's I need to get that across. It doesn't always need to be an item. It can just be someone's body parts that you can attach to use as the item.
100%. If we had faced elves during that arc, that's what I would have done for flavor. But I was just trying to think like what that we did that I could fold in there. And I think I got home and I noticed my boots were just so ridiculously cuddle soft. And so I'm approaching Jack King of the Patch. Oh, another thing I want to establish. I'm at the party. It's rowdy. People are everywhere. I put a video in of elephants smashing pumpkins, which is very delightful. That's happening in the background. I do spot here at the shindig one of my children, a adult Thrycreen, but I pretend to notice something interesting in a different direction to avoid conversation with them. I just do pretending like someone's beckoning me over, and I just take a 90-degree turn. It's like extreme deadbeat, I don't want to talk to my adult children kind of vibe. So that delays me from getting to the king.
Absolutely. Now, do I want to make you roll a stealth check to run away from your children here? Well, you just got the item for it. Yeah. So I think I have to. I think because you have loaded the grenade and pulled the pin. Let's see if you can throw it.
All right. Well, I have +5 and then I have advantage, so 21.
21 and a 2. Yeah. Your child sees you, and there's light and hope in their eyes that maybe they can have a fun time with mom. And it's like that thing where in a movie where like something passes in front of the camera and you're just gone.
Yeah, I'm like the Babadook, but for paying attention to my children.
The Babadook is also here. That's who you snuck by.
Yeah, I'm dapping up the Babadook on my way by.
Yeah, he takes off his hat. You climb out of it. I think Jack sees you as you're approaching him, and he throws open his arms wide and says, "Well, if it isn't Desiree, the most bodacious bug around, what are you doing here, coming in my house and my party? Not that you're not welcome. I just wasn't expecting to see you."
Oh, I missed you, King, my king. It's been too long. The Koffel, his social gatherings are, dead. Because he's a lich. He's dead. And yours are so lively.
You'd think that boy would have a funny bone in his body. Or sorry, let me correct that, because he, again, not a man, just a bone, just a skeleton. You think that skeleton would have a funny bone somewhere in its body, but it simply doesn't.
Nope, all boring bones. So I'm gonna be back as long as you'll, as long as your guards keep missing me when I sneak in. Look at this guy. You're fired, bitch. Get out of here.
Well, you heard the lady. Get out of here. Go on, get.
So how's it been, King? Has the Baron, been meeting all of your, needs and standards? I put him together special for you, so I need to know he's of the highest quality.
Oh, Desiree, you do lovely work, and the Baron's doing so well. He's making such deals, such devious little dark deeds that boy's doing for me. I couldn't be happier.
And bigger every day.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, don't mention his weight to him. He gets testy.
Because he's not growing fast enough. He wants to be...
Exactly. He's not a blue ribbon boy like me, as he, smacks his big pumpkin gut. He is truly massive compared to most, other harvestkin.
It's you and the moon, my king. The orbs that are in charge.
Yeah, I guess something I would highlight here, because this is happening outside. The backlit by the moon, looking up from Jack. It is just a giant jack-o'-lantern in the sky, shining down this beautiful orange light upon the party. Actually, you know what? Because it's partying, the light is strobing. It's traveling between oranges, reds, and purples and greens. This shit's fucking swagged out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the Transylvania twist up next, I can tell. Oh, but look at him. The orb's getting so fucking excited.
Now, if only we could find out what Transylvania is and what's twisting it.
Yeah, my plans to twist Transylvania completely around are coming to fruition. Everyone there will be killed. We make small talk for a while. I ask about, operations and all boring stuff the audience of the podcast doesn't want to hear before eventually.
Well, hold on. Maybe they are interested in operations.
Okay. How are the fields recovering from the fire? We cut those dudes in half, blew them up. We got our revenge, but they still got a couple of fields.
Ooh, I'll tell you, things have not been great around here. Not that you haven't done good work, although I would have appreciated if you got there a little faster. But beggars can't be choosers. You get what you get. Things have been strange. Some stuff's going on. I was considering petitioning the Diet, or rather having old Thresher over there, and he jerks a thumb further upfield. Where a centaur, pumpkin-headed creature, all of the Headless Horseman, is just busting it down. You would recognize this. This is his, representative in the Diet itself. He doesn't really ever leave the farm, the Jack himself. So he prefers to send out either Baron to handle things physically, or Thresher as a diplomatic envoy. And I can actually drop his model that I'm also working on there.
Okay, so Thresher is a Dullahan, Centaur, Harvestkin, all three of those things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't call him a Dullahan. He's just, when you think of a Headless Horseman, it has a pumpkin head, right?
Okay. Yep. I was seeing that. I'm saying, I'm worried about, calling too many favors into the coffle right now. I don't really know what it's thinking, if it's thinking at all. Do you have any, inside scoop on why it may be acting unpredictably these days?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, normally the coffle is interested in keeping the balance and keeping things, neutral, not having opinions. But, with the recent field burning stuff, and there was a big meeting at the Diet, and the Coffle gave a big speech about blanketing the lands of darkness and the sun going out, and kind of ordered me to start a war. So I was just curious if you had any reason why that shift might have happened.
So Jack doesn't, Jack's still he's drinking sipping his big pumpkin martini. As you're talking, nodding to people as they come up and be like, "Oh, Jack, you're so great. We love you so much." But like the moment you say ordered me to start a war, he like snaps to attention, and says, "Now what do you mean by that there? Why don't you give old Jack some details?"
Well, my king, I don't want to tell tales out of school. I'm but a simple, humble soldier. But
well, I've never been to school. I grew up right about 30 feet from here.
Oh, but it's so good to be back in the hometown. See all the old folks from the other side of the field. Yeah, I just want to get a handle on my orders. Sometimes I'm in the field and I need to improvise. I need to carry out the will of Koffel, and I can't do that if I don't know what it wants. So when it says kill everybody in a situation where that would inflame tensions and perhaps spark a new border war with New Leon, that's what I mean by the kind of ordering me to start a war thing. I did manage to not do that because... So listen, there was a Helionite. Her name is Golden Blossom. I hate her shit so much. Someday I'm gonna bring.
Oh, you and that little bee. Do you know how many times I've had to hear you complain about that blasted bug?
I know you love the pollen. Oh, bees are important. Oh, we would all die without bees. Listen, we can't live with bees. Okay, it's not tenable. So someday I'll.
Desiree, the only one I want pollinating me is you. You know that.
King, my king, if my grub can grow inside you, you be grubful already. No homo. Or the equivalent of that. No pumpko. I don't know. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah, he pauses for a second and thinks. He's like, well, it's not too abnormal for him to say that there can be no true peace with the New Leon. That ain't an abnormal thought, and you know that old creature is slow to accept a new status quo. But starting a war, now that's something new, and frankly something I'm not too happy to hear. I've already had to lose a couple fields to such inanities as missing children. I don't need to be losing anything more, because some bag of bones is starting up problems.
I know, problems always land on your doorstep first. You're kind of the face of Dynias. I hear outside of this place that some people just call it Pumpkin Town, Pumpkinville, Pumpkin City.
Yeah, it's almost like there's an entire Discord. That's what we call the etheric channels that people speak in through spells.
So, yeah, I obviously any conflict is going to hit you first, so you deserve to know. And also, Koffel doesn't have strong opinions about most things, including me running my stupid mouth. My mandibles.
He slings an arm around you and gestures to one of his serving harvestkin. Oh shit, I have a model that's perfect for this situation. Hold on, I need to find it.
I'm still watching these elephants smash these pumpkins on a loop. So good.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. He gestures over to another harvestkin that's carrying two platters, one of which has its decapitated pumpkin head on it. The other one has drinks and to offer one to you, and says, "Why don't I make you a little deal there, Desiree, if you're ever so amicable to my wishes?"
Oh, you know me. I'm just a humble soldier. I do what my superiors tell me. You're a king, so it is my great honor to help you all I can, accepting a drink as long as it's nectar adjacent. I cannot eat food. My mouth is not shaped correctly for food.
Jack just fucking like books the harvestkin, knocks that shit on the ground and goes, what do I tell you? Where's the nectar? Go on, get back to the kitchens.
It's so hard to find good help these days.
Yeah, he turns back to you and says, Desiree, I so do miss working with you. Why don't you come back into the fold? You could tell me what the Koffel's up to. I've never quite trusted that old bag of bones. Anything older than, I don't know, 30 years? Like, who needs it?
Mm-hmm. Well, as I told you before, King, my king, I can serve you better with the status of the Koffel, because if I, massacre a group of nuns or set fire to a castle of New Leon, that doesn't bound back on you, and no one expects anything from Koffel.
Oh, Desiree, that's exactly what I'm thinking. We're doing something called lying. It's this newfangled technique I learned about from one of our new business contracts with the outside world. The Baron loves it.
Baron's always talking about this technique, lying. It sounds pretty hard, but I'm willing to learn.
I need someone to tell me what the Koffl's been up to, what it's thinking about, and apparently what it's ordering you to do. Because if I lose another patch of pumpkins this year, it's gonna severely cut into our profit margins. And we need those new bodies coming in so we can throw parties like this. Because I mean, look, that elephant is really just stomping the shit out of them.
It really is. Yeah, you know, I'm not a veteran, but my understanding of if you really want to rise high in the military, half of it is politics. You know, you got to make friends, you got to double cross people. It's all about backslapping and handshaking. That's kind of what she's doing. It helps that the Koffel is not a personable fellow who is, you know, endearing itself to me. Yeah, I came here for information. Why is the Koffel doing this? And you hit me with the Uno reverse. Let's just find out why the Koffel is doing this.
Yeah. So you've been kind of coy with like what exactly he ordered, what the Koffel ordered you to do. So the Baron will just outright ask you. So you're telling me that'll I wanted to come up with a different thing than bag of bones, and I was just gonna say sack of shit. So I guess he just said sack of shit. That old sack of shit was telling you to wipe out that witch and those two nascent Helionites.
Yep, the boss says no survivors, no witnesses. There's usually no survivors, no witnesses. I got most of them, but there was an emergent factor. I had to improvise. Queenie Golden Blossom, high-level Helionite wanted something, so I had to deny it to her. That's how the field missions go some days.
Yeah, he'll say, well, I can understand wiping out that witch. It's not good to be dealing across the border, so to speak. It's they're a hostile party, although I won't be lying to you. I've considered possibilities in the future, seeing how things can grow under that big old sun of theirs. I've heard about this thing called photosynthesis. I'm mostly just watered with blood, so we can see how big I could get. I digress. But
if anything, they're not hostile enough. You know, I love a hostile party, and I do a little mosh pit, knock some guys over.
Yeah. He just start assaulting people nearby.
Yeah.
He says, but going after those kids, now that's a change. That's different. That's a problem. That'd be like, well, I was going to say if they went after your grubs, but there's a couple of them at this party, and boy, some of them are dying to meet you, some of them are wishing you'd die, so maybe this is a different...
Well, not my grubs, of course. All my grubs are grown up, so it's only useless adults now.
Oh, let me put it like this. It'd be like if somebody assassinated Stiorra, I suppose. I don't think old Dr. Doris would be particularly happy about that.
Moon forbid. Dude, I don't know. We don't have what's an equivalent of like crossing yourself. You know, I'm doing some sort of moon hand gesture. When you said
cross your heart, and a couple people there have to do like 9 crosses.
Oh, somebody burst into flames.
That's a quite bit more of an inciting incident. Now, between you and me, some things happen every now and again where somebody crosses over and we have to quietly handle a situation. You know, that sort of dirty, wet work. But that's a bit more open. That's brazen. I would respect it if it didn't result in my fucking fields getting burnt.
Yeah, I mean, King, you know, I like my work wetter than most. My work sloppy. My work soaked through, but you know, usually for a reason. We're not just splashing people because we're bored.
I suppose the question would be, what would it stand to gain from it?
That's above my pay grade, King. Maybe the moon. The moon gave him a message. Gave it a message. You know.
Do you want to like roll anything here?
Yeah, I guess insight. I trust this guy, but also I'm hyper alert, so okay. That's the best I can think of. 18.
18's pretty good. So I'm going to be giving you insight here. So do you? Okay. I will let you ask one question about either the Koffel or Jack.
Yeah. Does Jack King of the Patch actually know something they're not telling me, or are they equally in the dark about all this?
I wouldn't say that Jack knows something specific, but he very much does not seem to trust the Koffel as much as he could throw him, and he's a big guy, so he could probably throw him pretty far.
Yeah, at least until the Koffel did some kind of crazy magic thing and incinerated his vegetable shell. I'm telling you, all it takes is one kick from an elephant and his ass will come apart.
Yeah. Jack will muse something out loud and say, something that's always bothered me? It's a lich, right?
That bothers you, or?
What?
You said one thing that's always bothered me. It's a lich. And I said, wait, does being a lich bother you?
Hold on. There's a part two to the sentence. If anything, Jack is not racist. I love all types of people here. Hold on, I need to go on my apology tour real quick.
Yeah.
He says it's a lich, right? A conglomerate of them or whatever. Why would they be submitting themselves to that little group project of theirs? Does it do anything? It just sits alone in that weird little house of its all day, and then comes out and talks about, the various ways we could handle this situation, and talking all big about how these are the things they've always been, and, the arcane blah, 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 blah. Don't liches like big projects and plans and living forever?
I haven't met that many liches, but I assume when you get a bunch of them together, it creates a sort of average of their personalities, which kind of seems incoherent and strange. I imagine no matter how much like wisdom and planning a bunch of people have, as soon as you glue 15 of them together, they start, telling you to eat rocks.
I'm going to ask you to make a history check here.
Oh, not a good score. All right, well, 12.
Something I would note is that you have never heard of another lich in Dynias.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a lich and there was a lich that kind of absorbed other liches, I would probably not want to be around the lich absorbing lich if I was a lich.
But I would also note, I think this has been said before on air, at the very least in the pre-show. According to what the Koffel has said, it's entirely voluntary, and no one has ever actually seen it add someone to the conglomerate. Like it's not something that like someone hasn't shown up and then been like, I wish to be added to this. It's just been around. So either it's gained most of its body parts quite a while ago, or it's doing this quietly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if this is a metaphor for AI, the lich was basically scraping centrist Reddit posts for a long time, and then recently it just found like Stormfront or something. It got some really bad training data that now it's like, I'm Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, potentially something like that. That's the conclusion you want to draw. It could be that.
Is the news cycle so fast people don't remember Mecha Hitler anymore?
I remember Mecha Hitler.
From Wolfenstein?
No, that was Elon Musk's AI decided it was Mecha Hitler for like a week, and then everyone just moved on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Every AI model that can talk has briefly at the very least had one period where it became a Nazi. I remember like before this current iteration of AI, I think Google tried to put out a chatbot like 9 times, and it was racist every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if all you're doing is sucking up all of the posts on the internet, and a bunch of the posts on the internet are super stupid and evil, then you're going to get some of that in your data, which is kind of where I'm at with the Koffel having a sudden shift. I don't really have any evidence. That's just, I think, where I'm at.
Yeah. Jackal said I'd say just keep an eye out for things. Take a look. He lets you into his house, right? It lets you into his house, right? Maybe you take a look around, see what it's got in there. I can't fit through the doors, so I've never been myself.
No problem, King. I'll take a peek around. I love to go places where I'm not wanted, paralyze everyone, to take a poke around. It's fun.
now that this out of the way, could I talk to you about the problem I'm having? I do think I'm gonna need your assistance with it.
Of course. I barely even noticed the aphids, my king. You really got that situation under control.
Oh, it's a new shampoo I got.
Oh, yeah. Vanilla Souls of the Lost.
Exactly. Well, they've been found, and they're under my armpits now. Yeah, he's gonna ask if you could, get the rest of the party here to join, because he doesn't want to explain this more than once. If you can avoid it.
Yeah, just one last thing, because that actually took a lot longer than I thought it was. I had my other question for the king, if we have time, is just I came across a strange tree in a clearing of clearly magical natures. I interviewed some local wolves. They said the tree killed a bunch of people who were hanging from its branches. They called it the greatest tree, is what I have written in my notes. I just described the thing that happened. Dan, I don't know. You were there. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. He can. He'll say, "Ooh, you're going to something that's a little bit before my time. I've heard of it, but it was before I was grown."
Well, you, of course, have access to the greatest scholars of Harvestkin kind, some of them ancient, as much as 10, 15 years old. So if you...
Oh, yeah, let me ask one of them. Oh, squished by the elephant. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, he'll say, well... I can tell you this much. There's an old, I guess, Harvestkin legend, you could say. Hard to really call it that. Baron's been getting me to get stuff written down in books. It's been an effort, but we're starting to get some things compiled here and there. We're the Midnight Harvest, right? Well, midnight ain't just a time of day. That there's a name.
It's also a lifestyle, my liege. What do you mean? Like, there was a guy named Midnight?
Well, it's the Midnight's Harvest, right?
Oh, I didn't realize it was possessive.
From what I understand, them a long time ago, during the last big old fight between New Leon and Dynias, there was this Harvestkin going by the name of Old Man Midnight. Some stuff happened or whatever, I don't know, people died before my time, who really cares? Really, at the end of the day, we're still here, ain't we? And now he's been laid to rest somewhere in Dynias under a big old tree. I'm familiar with it, it's definitely still killing people, and some of the more feral Harvestkin varieties like to hang out around it. But the only thing I know besides that is that there's an old saying that he'll wake up once the sun rises. Sounds like bullshit to me. Ain't no sun rising here.
So you described the moon in that clearing as a radiating disappointment, if my memory recalls. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I described it as being completely hidden behind the clouds, and you asked me a question, how does the moon feel about it? And its feelings were disappointment.
Something unfinished, specifically, I think was the word you used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the king have any insight on how that fits in? So Old Man Midnight was buried under this tree. The tree is killing people, and the moon is disappointed. Why would the moon be disappointed? That's pretty spooky.
Yeah, he sort of shrugs and goes, beats me. I was grown quite a bit after that.
Yeah, an ancient Harvestkin story from as many as 50 years ago.
Exactly.
All right. So that sounds like the end of what Dan's willing to give me. So I'm gonna call my homies. I guess I'm gonna use animal messenger because I don't want to leave this party. So I'm gonna send a swarm of rats and flies for you two.
Yeah. You two get a message by the rats. They go, "Hey, this party's lit. Come on, turn up."
Okay, just stop nibbling and I'll be on my way.
Dr. Cheesers? Dr. Cheesers? Dr. Cheeser? Like, Stiorra just assumes everyone is her brother.
Oh.
That, I don't know if that's cute or a little bit ratsist.
Yeah.
You turn up at the party. And what is it? Jack claps the Baron over his shoulder, offers him a drink, going, "Baron, you gotta lighten up. I know you love your cigars and your smoking, but take a drink, live a little. You're what, 5 years old now?"
Okay. What are we having? What are we having today?
Let's see. This looks like blood wine from a really short Goliath.
Oh, delightful. I'll join you.
Yeah. He offers you a drink. He says, now that the three of you are here, I'm having another problem with the fields. Baron, I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but you've been so busy lately. You deserve to go off and have your little fun time. Did you get that house that plot of land you were looking for?
No, I'm still working on it. Stupid skeletons trying to get me to get it one way, but I'm pretty sure I can just put on the nice persona and talk her into it still.
Oh, well, I believe in you. You're always so good at those little deals of yours. I don't mean to call them little. You're a big boy, big man. That's not a pejorative. I'm very proud of you. You're a good pumpkin.
Oh, thank you. Fear not. I'll put on the good boy shirt and show up as Norab, and I'm sure I'll get it sorted.
Yeah. The Jack K of the Pumpkins calls over Thresher, his his representative in the court, and says, "Now Thresher, he has illuminated an issue to me. I'll let him take over for the moment." And this Harvestkin centaur trots up to you. He's dressed in like I guess the centaur equivalent of what the fuck are they called? Overalls? I don't really understand how that would work on a centaur, but picture it however you will.
Centaur overalls.
Yeah, he's got centaur overalls. He's got a big sickle on a stick that he uses, to clear the fields. He goes, some of you know me, Baron. I'm, that's the wrong accent. I've been talking to Jack too much. Well, howdy there. Some of you might know me. I'm Thresher. I tend to the Jack's business in court, and I'm the lead patch tender here. I make sure things are growing right. And we got a mighty problem. As you know, some of our fields are burned recently. We're handling that. We got that down pat. I don't know how to say this any other way. One of our farms is gone. It's just plumb gone.
Where'd you leave it? Did you retrace your steps?
Do you mean like the land is empty, or like there's a space where it was?
It's always in the last place you look.
Well, it's never the second to last. Why'd you keep looking?
I mean, if you have ADHD, you might keep looking.
I've been to the site briefly, but to be honest, it kind of skeeved me out. The land is there, but most of the crops and the buildings have just been seemingly ripped up out of the ground and disappeared on me.
So the crops disappeared, but the dirt is still there. It's not a yawning void into the nether.
I mean, I assume, yeah, they got probably some of the dirt, but you can step on it.
This does need investigating, if for no other reason than I would love to know how they pulled that off, because that would be a solution to my old lady plot of land problem.
Dan, I know I should have looked this up before the season started, but I just double-checked, and wasps do pollinate pumpkins.
So you can fuck Jack if you want to. That's an option.
Not in my way, but I can in his way. I can move his, quote, heavy, sticky pollen around. So just keeping that in mind.
I just wanted him to be kind of flirty. I think he's like that with everybody a little bit. Maybe not Stiorra because, well, actually, he thinks people are people age quicker, so a 5-year-old flesh golem's roughly the same thing to him. But she is someone important's daughter.
And I like that he's not racist because anyone can die and become a pumpkin. Like, you can grow a pumpkin in everyone, so he's got to be nice to everyone. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to feel out like what his attractions are and like what he's into, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
you got to write down their stats, their likes, dislikes, and kinks to really get into the character.
Yeah, and Thresher continues on saying, "Yeah, I was out to the side briefly, and the place is up. Well, I don't know what accent this is. Oh shucks, the place is a damn mess. It's been all torn up. The crops are gone. So is the livestock. Frankly, we need at the very least a hand just rounding up what we can and figuring out who dingly-dang did it."
Oh, okay. The mystery of the missing farm. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, so you've been sort of given like two options you can go after here. The issue that Luca, I almost called him by his original true name, Kushin, but instead his Italian name, his Italian Sona, is settling a sort of border.
Is this like the Baron having two names? Is this two personalities he has?
Well, you get old enough, you have to you're probably going to change your name with the times a little bit, I imagine. Like if you've lived long enough, you moved to Italy, you lived there for 100 years, maybe you feel a little bit more Italian. You become transmarification. It comes up with a different identity. No, but yeah, you essentially have two options for things you can investigate now. One, which helping out, Jack, or potentially going against his wishes and going for helping out the vampires, or fucking up everything entirely.
Look, I think I should be helping out the king as opposed to that stupid fucking vampire. I'm pretty sure that I can get that plot of land without the vampire's help. Norab's gonna show up and just sweet talk it out of her. That's no problem. She's not even gonna see it coming. That's good on Norab.
So, just to confirm then, the incident that took place on the Vampire Harvestkin lands that Luca mentioned is the same farm that just disappeared that Jack is telling us about.
No, that's a completely different
gotcha.
place. So I'm giving you two different mission options, essentially. I'm referencing something that happened in a different campaign that I'm now looping it here because of what occurred.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always going to side with the king over doing something for my stupid nemesis, even if he's offering to help with a thing that I want. Mm-hmm. I'm foolish enough to think I can get what I want regardless, and, because then I get to get one over on him if I don't help him and I still get what I want.
Absolutely. Yeah, he'll continue on to say, well, if you're all amicable to it, a couple things that need to be done. One, figure out what done happened to the place. Two, if possible, get back some of our livestock. And three, kill whoever did this. I don't want my damn farms to go away. You know how much effort I put into that? A quarter of my life, and by that I mean 2 years.
I'm certainly on board. Losing well-developed land, an absolute travesty, cannot be allowed to happen.
Is there any kind of point of contact over there that we should search out?
If you want, I could go with you, maybe help you out as best I can.
Sure. How many spell slots do you have?
I'm a farmer. I have sickle and pitchfork.
How many glasses of blood wine do you have? More to the question.
I got a huge keg of it right here.
Come with us. Join us. Sounds delightful.
I'm so drunk.
I bet Queenie Golden Blossom is behind this. That's going to be my theory for every mission, no matter what what it's about.
Like a pup named Scooby-Doo, Red Herring.
The bit is that the first episode she was behind it, and every episode afterward it never is her.